Okay, so the Imaginaries. That's a new name,
It is.
you
It
know.
is.
And Maggie and Shane used to have your own act.
We're both solo artists. We've been both solo artists for years.
Right,
And so we essentially met through music, and
right.
this has been a sort of a process that's taken a long time. It just kind of naturally happened, really. You know, from it started in about 2011. Maggie and I got a college booking agent, and she would get booked for a ton of shows, and they'd typically be solo shows or duo shows, and she didn't want to go out and travel by herself, so I'd come along and play guitar, sing backgrounds, and then that kind of started doing the same thing. She'd play keys and sing backgrounds when it was my show, and then slowly we started writing together, and then it just kind of developed into
Right.
this
Well, you
project.
probably, one of the first things you probably noticed was how well two you blend.
Right.
When singers get together, they either blend or they don't.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when they do, there's an attraction happens. But it led to marriage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've been
that's quite an
married
attraction. Yeah.
almost 7 years.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you want to tell me a little bit about the name of the band and where that came from?
Yeah. So we've been talking about doing a band together for ever, really. And throughout that whole time, we've been coming up with a giant list of band names.
Uh-huh.
And
that is really hard, isn't it?
It is.
yeah.
I know we did everything from like a mind map to all this stuff, and we landed on 2 or 3 names that we were like, okay, this is going to be our name, and then we talked to our music attorney, and he was like, oh, I don't think that name's going to work because of this, and this, and so we were back at square one again, just thinking about, okay, what does this music feel like, what should it be called, and I was up late at night just trying to use my brain, thinking about stuff, and the word Imaginaries popped in my head.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
Were
definitely
we
fits.
going to bed at night and you were like, what do you think about that? Or was it in the morning when
Yeah,
we
it was
woke
in the
up?
morning.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. Yes. And when we looked it up, there wasn't any other band called that.
I was just
And
going to
we
get to
were
that
really
because
excited.
this just happened where somebody comes up with a name and they go, that's the perfect name for the band. So the first thing they do is like Google it.
Yeah.
Google it, and it's like 18 bands
Right.
the same name because
Right.
because it's such a good name.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you lucked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. So
Fantastic.
we are very excited.
Well, when I heard you, I said you're perfect for the OneMic. But when I say that, I meant the style of music, and I thought it was appropriate for being here in Muscle Shoals. Plus, there's a sound of the band, sound of your voices, and the way you arrange that reminds me of what I think Southern music sounds like. Modern Southern rock music sounds like to me. So,
Cool.
thank you for agreeing to do this.
Absolutely.
I realize it can be scary and a little risky. Most people are used to going and doing multi-tracks and being able to redo their parts and
Right.
fix things, and people get comfortable with that idea, and when I tell people, oh no, you're just going to do it around OneMic, which just seems a little weird, and you're going to do it in one take, complete take, and we're not going to do comps, and that's it. And people either go, wow, yeah, we can do that, or they go, no way. So thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And I think that
Thank you.
it turned out really well. I'm very happy with what we got.
We are too.
Us
and
too.
Getting to play with all these guys has been
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk a
Amazing.
little bit about the sidemen? Can we call them sidemen?
Yeah. So we when we found out this was happening, who put us in touch with David Hood? Was it
It was
Ross
John.
Yeah,
or John?
I think I
you
did,
did.
yeah.
Okay, so we talked to David Hood about a band, and he was gonna originally do this, but he had a gig come up, so he got us in touch with Kelvin,
Mhm.
and of course Kelvin put all these guys together because I guess I'm assuming you guys have worked together in multiple
Yeah,
different
yeah,
groups and
yeah.
recorded in a lot of
Yeah.
different projects. So
So in a way, you guys are like maybe the third or fourth or maybe fourth generation of Swampers.
yeah,
I mean,
I guess we're all kind of honoraries.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
absolutely.
tradition in a sense,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, it's one big family. We all do sessions together. Sometimes all of us together. Sometimes it's with the Swampers.
Yeah.
In different forms, and it's a nice music community here in the Shoals.
It really is. It really is.